All right, time to check in on the top business story of the day. A warning from the auto industry about the high cost of doing business in Canada. Jameson Berkow is joining us from BNN. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Emma.
All right, so what are they saying, and how does Canada's cost compare to other countries in the world?
We're kind of in the middle of the pack. We're really just comparing it to the rest of North America, of course, because once you start to go abroad to manufacturing in Korea or in Europe, you know, all sorts of different factors start to come into play. But we're right in the middle of the pack, which is not necessarily the best place to be in North America, since you can't really make a strong value proposition to get someone to bring investment into, say, Ontario specifically, where most of the actual manufacturing happens in the auto sector. But, you know, I just want to take a second step back for a second, Emery, because it's really important for the viewers to understand just how much of a job creator this sector is. You know, one thing that really stood out to me in this report was for every, say, assembly line job that is created, there are another 6 that are created elsewhere in the economy. So say yesterday, Linamar, a big auto parts manufacturer, announced 1,500 jobs that they're creating. That means that somewhere else in the economy, well, elsewhere, you know, across the economy, not one little spot, 9,000 other jobs were created as a result of that investment. So 3 things in particular that this report says that we need to do better on. One is basically electricity costs. Certainly everyone in Ontario who gets a hydro bill understands that, whether you're in manufacturing or not. Even just heating your home can be pretty costly in Ontario. There's the issue of taxes, making sure that they're actually still competitive with the United States, because, you know, they used to be less than half what the corporate tax rate in the U.S. was. Now we only have a few percentage points of an advantage after the reforms south of the border. And then finally, the issue of labor regulation. This is probably going to be not so politically popular, the idea of ensuring that, you know, changes to paid benefits and leave and salaries and, you know, things like the minimum wage, not so much the minimum wage on auto manufacturing, but the idea of including industry in that conversation to ensure that, you know, we're representing strong labor rights, but we're also making sure that that labor can continue to exist.
So what does that mean, bottom line, that last point that you're saying? Does it cost more for the companies, or is it benefiting employees?
It costs more for the companies to do what we're doing right now by focusing just on the labor side. Goes this report. This is not my argument. The report says that if you don't include industry more in that type of conversation about how to improve labor standards, then all of a sudden industry can no longer provide those jobs in the first place.
Rock and hard place for the government, you know.
Very much
care
so,
of employees,
yeah.
but also need industry in the country.
And it doesn't make a great soundbite in a political ad either.
You're absolutely right. All right, Jameson, thanks for joining us this morning.
My pleasure.